There's no one like the fans. That's why Sky Bet are giving you free weekly bets and boosts all season long.
Check out this class offer below. Sky Bet for the fans.
Remember, you have to be 18 and over. T&Cs apply, and please be gamble aware.
Looks like you've missed out on Florian Wirtz, Buvey.
Yeah, you've been speaking about him all season. Like,
Yeah, and he does this as well.
Been saying he's fantastic.
Florian Wirtz, baby.
Yeah, well, you got to say Liverpool go from strength to strength, and they've arguably already won the transfer window. They've signed one of the most prodigious young talents in world football that Germany have certainly created, maybe since someone like Wirtz, and they've spent a lot of money on him. Also, that money doesn't look as bad because they haven't spent any money last summer, so it almost feels like a discounted rate. This kid is absolutely unbelievable. He's explosive.
The deal?
I think it's 125 million euros potential with more add-ons. Obviously, the most expensive signing of all time, ahead of Alisson, Van Dijk, £50 million more than both of those players. But it's a deal that, for me, makes a lot of sense. He can sit into that midfield. McKola, maybe a little bit deeper with Gravenberch. It'd be one of the great midfields of this era of football. It's an outrageously good midfield. And he's, 22 years old? One of the best players in Germany, helped Leverkusen win the league title a few years ago. His goal records are outstanding. Even in the Champions League this season, 6 goals in 9 appearances in the Champions League. I think he's a Premier League player waiting to go.
And what do we think? Like proper Liverpool number 7?
Yeah.
Suarez, Keegan.
Yeah, I think so.
Wirtz.
He's flexible as well. He could play as a false 9. I'm not saying you want to play him there because he's a number 10, but you could play him as a false 9 and pack the midfield. Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai still have a role to play in the Liverpool midfield, as well as Gravenberch and McAllister. It's outrageous.
It's mad, isn't it, as well? Because the one thing that people were saying about what Trent Alexander-Arnold brings to this Liverpool team, like, we know that there are some flaws to Alexander-Arnold's game, but what there is no discussion about is what he can bring in a creative sense, creativity. How are Liverpool going to replace the creativity that will be felt by the departure of Trent Alexander-Arnold? And suddenly you go, that's Wirtz, isn't it? The creativity, the creative spark, the unpredictable talent. That's what Wirtz is going to bring to this team.
Also, with players like that, you tend to kind of assume that they don't do much off the ball. But his off the ball work rate and everything is made for the Premier League.
Supremely fit.
All of his, when you tick down the boxes, he's a Premier League player. Whether that translates to the Premier League, obviously it's a big step up.
It's a gamble, isn't it? It's always a
change
gamble.
of styles, big money, all those different things could contribute to kind of adding pressure to a signing. But he's joining the champions. What better, circumstance to go in on? There's not much pressure on you when you're going in and playing.
It's a great team to walk into as well. Feelings high. It's been the perfect year for Liverpool. They've had 4 guards of honour. They've watched their biggest rivals finish nearly in the relegation zone. They've watched their biggest rivals win no silverware. They have signed Mohamed Salah, the best player in the league. They've signed Virgil van Dijk, the best defender in the league. They have pinched a player from Man City, from under the nose of Man City, it feels like, which feels significant but almost Machiavellian.
Well, it feels like Van Persie to Man United all over again.
Yeah.
It feels like it could be the kind of... Because if Wirtz comes in and suddenly just replaces De Bruyne, City could be getting back to sort of 95 points next season. And now City have to go, who are we going to get in instead? And that's a big, big issue now. Liverpool can go from strength to strength. They could be finished on 95
if
plus points.
If they end up signing that Kirkes, who's a very good player, which everybody seems to think they will, if they sign that Kirkes, they add Wirtz, they bring in a striker, Frimpong. I mean,
although I am interested to see what Frimpong looks like in a back four, more full-back kind of state. But he could just be used at home when you've got most of the possession and you want your right back to kind of...
You've got Conor Bradley, you can always play at right back.
Bit more defensive duel.
Yeah, that's a good shout, yeah.
Really good signing, Florian Wirtz. And also there's talk of Luis Diaz leaving. So that money could kind of almost be allocated.
He could play Diaz. They shouldn't let him
go to Barcelona.
I'd let Jota go instead, or Nunes.
Yeah, Jota and Nunes.
And
don't let Diaz is excellent. From what you've seen of Wirtz, what do you think he's like? Ball carrying, is that his thing?
Getting the ball in the half turn, exploding away from people with pace, with physicality. Someone like Musiala is a little bit slow, a little bit more controlling of the game. But Wirtz is explosive, he's dynamic, he's robust. I thought he was good for Germany, even though they had a really underwhelming Euros last summer. I think he's perfect for the Premier League.
He fits in everywhere along that line as well, which is good for them. Can play I know you're not going to always see him. He can play as a false 9, play off the left, right, attacking midfielder, play deeper if you want to. Be interesting to see where he does finally settle into that team. It's a big signing.
And apparently he rejected Bayern as well.
And Real Madrid were apparently in for him, although...
He rejected Bayern and Man City.
Real Madrid wanted to spend 100 million on a player.
This is excellent from Liverpool, isn't it? Like, if you were a Liverpool if you're a Liverpool fan here, you're going to be over the moon because what they're doing is exactly what you should do. We always talk about it, strengthening when you're strong. And they are obviously very strong at the moment. And it seems like they're wasting no time.
And they could be probably criticised for when they had Jurgen Klopp and they won things. They didn't
not
really
making the most of it.
strengthen them more,
Yeah.
you know, when they could have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's got to the
They want
stage now where
21.
you can't do that. They
That's
want-
what my fear is.
Well,
They're
I also-
gearing up.
They've already
I
got
also
it.
think I also
basically.
think retaining. I also think retaining the Premier League. It's such a difficult thing to do. It really is.
Well, Wenger's great sides never did it. Klopp never did it.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. They'll be looking now to retaining the league, and the way that it's shaping up. I mean, you can't really see beyond them as things stand, can you? Obviously, there's a lot of twists and turns to come. Manchester City are going to start making their moves, but
Yeah, if Rodri doesn't come back to the
how
form,
close was he to City? Like, is this
no,
did
he's,
this shock you? When
well, he did a tour of the northwest of England. So he did a tour of Liverpool. He did a tour with Man City in terms of the training ground. He met with Pep, but then he's met with Liverpool as well. He's looked at houses in
But
Liverpool.
does that
So
worry you that someone's opted for?
I
for
can never,
Liverpool
as
over
a City fan, I'm never going to sit here. But if it's Liverpool, if it's like a different club, it's a
could
different
be
situation.
because of Frimpong though.
I think Liverpool offered him 330 grand a week. I think City didn't want to do that. I think City pulled out in terms of the money as well. I don't think City were prepared to bid 125 million quid either. So I think Liverpool have outbid the market, and it just feels like a natural fit as well. I think Arne Slot, I think it just fits perfectly. The issue is Marmoush has come in, Phil Foden's there, Jack Grealish is there, Bernardo, Gundogan. You don't know where you're
Most
going
of
to
them
start.
ain't, like,
No, but
A lot of them are going to
a
look
lot
but
of
we don't
those
know.
Gundogan,
players-
Bernardo,
We don't
Grealish
know.
probably not there next season.
Yeah, we don't. Liverpool, it's a settled squad. There aren't loads of coming ins and outs. It's like
No, it's a great. You can understand why anybody chooses to go to this Liverpool team,
Yeah.
which is now taken us full circle as to why I think it's such a bad time for Alexander-Arnold to leave it. You know,
yeah.
think-
But we talk about Trent's creativity. I'd rather have my number 10 be creative, or my.
I completely
like
agree.
the right back thing. It's a luxury having your right back be like Trent. I honestly, I don't think they'll look back.
Do you think this could be like the beginning of a potential new Liverpool dynasty? I'm beginning to think it could.
worryingly.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a very obviously there's a fear of that, and the way they're strengthening from a position of strength is obviously worrying for a Man United fan, but also it's a very competitive league. Like City you'd expect to get back up there. Arsenal will probably do some business this summer, but Liverpool's moves so far are very impressive and very worrying.
It's impressive the way they've just gone out and got it done. Like the season is still not actually finished.
Yeah, and Frimpong's
Like
come
the
in as
Champions League
well.
final has not yet
What you
been
want,
played.
man. Remember 07, we won the league in 07, won it back. And then before the 07-08 season, even really, the summer hadn't started yet, and we announced Carlos Tevez,
Yeah.
Hargreaves, Anderson, Nani, and it was like, right, we're going again. And that's it, your summer's done.
Yeah.
You're not even worried about or thinking about any signings or anything. That's what
Pre-season.
you need, man.
Just get it done.
They'll be thinking to win it's not just about winning the Premier League to retain it. I think your point's spot on about retaining it for Liverpool, but winning the Champions League. They were so good in the first half of the Champions League campaign. And they'd be gutted about the way they lost to PSG. So they'll be thinking, can we win the Premier League and the Champions League next season?
Also, imagine Szoboszlai desperate to get to that Champions League final. Over the moon, wouldn't he? Imagine.
Is in Hungary.
Yeah, it's Budapest, isn't it? Puskás.
Oh, the next one, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, but it's Istanbul for the Europa League, Budapest for the Champions League final.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Tell you what, it's a
And they got the new keeper coming in as well, which is a small thing, but he's one of the best keepers in Europe.
Yeah. I didn't see this coming though, did you? Liverpool. Did you think they would be spending like this as diligently as this?
One side of me goes, it is a big risk though as well.
In what sense?
It's a very attractive signing, and obviously he's a fantastic footballer, but he's very young. It's big money, big wages. It's got all the recipes as well for a failure. Fingers crossed.